Hey, so what's happening today? We are going to Nainital. And if you're not going to watch the whole of this video, you would land up somewhere in the middle. You will not reach Nainital. And this is where you might be stuck with these pakoras and the chai, which we are having right now at this midway stop, somewhere in the middle. I believe we are still in Uttar Pradesh. Our bus is somewhere over there, and very soon, overnight, we'll reach Haldwani, from where we'll go to Nainital. These overnight travels are so wonderful, and I especially love these midway stops for food and tea. So yeah, this is my bus, and just as much as the destination, it's the journey that matters. These buses and these stops at roadside dhabas are wonderful. So I'm clearly giving you quick returns in this video because here we are at Haldwani, which is right at the foothills of Nainital, right at the foothills of these Himalayan mountains, and we are waiting in this smaller bus now to start the journey to Nainital, which is around 30 kilometers from here, and the time right now is 4:20 a.m. So we are on our way from Haldwani to Nainital now. The sun has not risen so far, which make this experience all the more interesting and memorable. Welcome to Nainital. It's 6:20 a.m. and here we are, as I said, very quick returns for you. We've reached the Nainital bus stand now, and Nainital, for those of you who do not know, is what's called a hill station within the Indian state of Uttarakhand, and it's named after a famous lake, a big lake, which is called the Nainital Lake or the Naini Lake. There's the lake, and the place is called Nainital. So you'll see a lot of these visuals which show us buildings that are old and that look a little British. I'm not sure if that one was looking British, but this all goes back to, I guess, around 150 years, when the Britishers were trying to find places which were nicer and cooler as compared to their capital in Delhi, and Nainital was developed as one of those cooler places, which was called a hill station. It's called a station because very close to Nainital is also a train station, and there are many such hill stations throughout northern India. So right now I am a little lazy, a little sleepy because of the overnight journey from Delhi, but soon we'll get walking and exploring. So we figured it's super important for us to get some energy with some tea and some food. So this is the place where we'll get that. This is already so calming and peaceful. This felt just so good, especially after the overnight journey. Having the first meal here in the hills, it was just wonderful, and I think we've got the energy now to go to the hotel. This road that we are walking on is called the Mall Road. This part right by the lake is specifically the British built part of Nainital. Nainital is a place, of course, existed hundreds of years before, and so did this lake, because it's a natural lake. And I think there are a lot of mythological references as well in the Hindu mythology. But the modern Nainital is a hill station that was built by the British. That, of course, is the beautiful lake, and you can see the sunlight has reached only the top of those hills because it's still early. It's not 8 a.m. yet. You can see people exercising. We've been seeing a lot of people running around as well, doing their morning jogs. Ooh, and there's a Domino's. We're definitely not eating there. This road is called the Mall Road. You can see the trees also are distinctive with those leaves. These are not the standard plain trees. And in terms of altitude, Nainital is at around 2000 meters. That looks like a nice place. And this hour is very unusual for Nainital because you see it's very quiet and peaceful. This is definitely not the usual experience of the Mall Road of Nainital. This walk is, of course, right along the lake towards the north direction, which is where the Mall Road will end, and we'll sort of reach the area where I think our hotel is. So right now I am taking you all towards our hotel where we can relax before we get exploring. So here we are at the hotel. This, of course, is a British era building, I suppose. Definitely more than 100 years old. And this actually is the hotel where we'll be staying, and where you'll be staying as well, at least virtually. And check out that view. We've got a nice view of the Naini Lake. This property was actually owned by, and is actually still owned by, a king or a Maharaja. That's why this looks almost like a palace. That gentleman is probably one of the Maharajas. The mustaches clearly reveal. that he's probably one. I just love all that wood. Of course, here in the hills you find a lot of this fine quality wood, and of course you find a lot of this nice and bright sunlight and the view of the lake. So yeah, I'm sure we'll have a good time staying at this place. It's right at the end of the mall road, and I will talk a little bit more about the hotel, but for now we are just going to relax and enjoy these initial views of the hotel, and of course the hills of Nainital and the Naini Lake. We plan to stay here for a couple of days, and this will be our base to explore Nainital. There you go, that's the lake. Alright, so I am relaxing, and I hope you're relaxing as well after that overnight journey to beautiful Nainital. And as I promised, you've reached Nainital now because you've stayed along for the whole length of the video. Just relax now before we start exploring more of this hill station.